The man I was cheating with was my husband's cousin. I gaslit his ass for months, made him feel like he was the problem. He found everything in one weekend: the account, the stripper stage name, the cousin connection, and the truth about the job his cousin hooked me up with. I know how that sounds, but hear me out though. I was married to a good man. Smart, patient, quiet. I told him I had a legit office job in downtown Atlanta, that I worked 9 to 5 and was just trying to build us up financially. Reality: I was stripping under a fake name and running an OnlyFans on the side. Worst part about all this, sis: the man I was cheating with was his cousin. I gaslit him for months. Made him feel like he was the problem. He found everything in one weekend: the account, the stage name, the cousin connection, and the truth about the job. He filed a report with the Georgia Labor Department because the cousin set up the fake job to cover me with paperwork. Now both of us are under criminal investigation. I lost everything. Him, my money bag, my access to OnlyFans, my strip club job, and every bit of fake power I thought I had. I ended up at my friend's place, but even she turned on me when she found out her husband was tipping me online. This is a nightmare. I'm eating dry-ass ramen and hoping not to get my ass arrested. He always moved quiet. That should have been my first warning. When a man don't yell, don't accuse, don't even ask questions, he's already decided you're not worth the energy. It started on a Sunday. I came home around midnight. Told him I picked up a night shift because someone called out. He was sitting on the couch, no lights on, TV muted. Just looking at his phone. He nodded once. Said, "You eat?" I lied and said I had takeout at work. I went upstairs and showered fast, like washing off a lie. I checked my phone in bed and realized I had one too many tabs open. One was still on my OnlyFans messages. The next day, he was gone before I woke up. I texted him. No answer. I texted the cousin. Nothing from him either. My stomach started turning, but I told myself it was nothing. Then I opened my laptop. Logged into my work email. Nothing there. I clicked through to the fake office site his cousin set up for me. It was gone. Deleted. Not suspended, wiped. I tried to text the cousin again, and it said his number was disconnected. That's when I started shaking. I called my husband. Straight to voicemail. Then I checked the bank. He had closed every joint account. Everything with his name on it was cleared out. He even reversed the last rent payment. I checked my OnlyFans earnings and couldn't log in. My account had been disabled. A message popped up saying I had been reported for fraud, identity misrepresentation, and improper tax documentation. What the hell was going on? 3 hours later, I got an email from the Georgia Department of Labor. It said my employment records had been flagged. That I had been listed under a business that did not exist, collecting tax benefits under false documentation. The letter used the word fraud. It said I may be subject to further investigation and someone would be reaching out. I called the cousin again. Still disconnected. I called my best friend. She let me come over. I packed a bag and left without leaving a note. I didn't know what he would do if he came home while I was still there. He's not violent, but the silence was worse. At her place, I tried to keep it together. I said I had a misunderstanding at work and needed a break. She let me sleep on the couch. She asked no questions. Day 2, I checked my messages from an old fan account. A man I used to talk to a lot on there had sent dozens of messages. He found my real name. Said he knew where I danced. He said since I took his money and disappeared, he wanted to meet in person. He sent a picture of my old apartment building. I reported the account. Blocked his ass. But the fear sat in my chest like a cinder block. I tried to go back to the club, just to make some fast money. The bouncer wouldn't even let me pass the front. He said I brought legal heat and they couldn't risk it. I stood outside for almost 20 minutes trying to convince him I was clean. He told me flat out, "You not clean, shawty, you a whole case." 3 days later, my best friend's husband asked to talk to me. I thought he was going to say I had to leave. Instead, he said, "Was it you, the girl named, stripper name, on that site?" I didn't answer. He said, "I've been sending money. You messin' up my marriage now too, bish. Hold the F up." That night, she kicked me out. Packed my stuff in a trash bag. Said I violated her house. That I was no better than a scammer. I begged. She said, "You messed up your husband, your cousin, your job, your body, and now my home. I'm not saving you from you, bish. Try Jesus, not me." I sat outside a bus station for 4 hours. Ate dry ramen from a bag. I had $18 left and nowhere to go. The cousin still hadn't surfaced. The last text I got from him was days old. He found everything. Shut it all the F down. The next morning, I got another notice. The Georgia Department of Labor again. This time it was formal, criminal charges under review. Possible jail time. Tax fraud. Wire fraud. Misrepresentation. They listed the cousin as a co-conspirator. My phone rang that afternoon. It was my mom. "You want to tell me why your name showed up in a fraud report?" I broke down crying. I told her everything. She didn't yell. She just said, "Actions have consequences, child. And you know we can't enable this." My sister texted me later, "You had a man who worked hard for you. And you made him look stupid by playing in his face. We can't help you." I'm now at a motel I can barely afford. I'm scared to sleep. I'm scared to check my phone. And the OnlyFans money is gone. They froze the payout. I wish this was a nightmare. But it's real. Every bit of it. And something worse is coming. I can feel it. I've been waking up every hour like my body knows something bad is about to happen. That motel room smelled like wet carpet and bleach, and every time someone walked past my door I froze, thinking it was the cops or that obsessed dude from the site. I kept asking myself, how did I get here? How did I go from married, stable, cared for, to hiding behind a broken lock with 2 outfits and a cold cup of ramen? But asking ain't helping. Questions don't change consequences. On the 4th morning, I checked my email. Another notice from the Georgia Labor Department. This one wasn't a warning. It was an official summons. They wanted me to appear for an interview regarding fraud, wage misclassification, and illegal compensation under a false employer. I read it twice, hoping it was a mistake. It wasn't. My name was spelled right. My address was listed as the motel. The cousin was listed as the primary. I was listed as a knowing participant. Seeing that in writing knocked the breath out of me. I tried calling him again. Straight to a recording that said the number was no longer in service. I texted his social accounts. All disabled. It was like he fell off the planet. I walked to the front desk and asked the woman if I had any mail or if anyone had asked for me. She looked me up and down and said, "Girl, no. Ain't nobody looking for you." She didn't even say it rude. Just blunt. Like reality don't need sugar. I packed my bag and left. I didn't know where to go. The bus stop felt unsafe. The motel felt worse. I walked for almost an hour before I swallowed my pride and called my brother. He answered, but only because he didn't know it was me. Soon as he heard my voice he said, "Nah. Don't start yo madness. You grown. You did what you did. We not saving you." Then he hung up. One question came to my head, heavy as a brick. Was I really this alone? Then the next consequence hit fast. My bank account wasn't just empty. It was frozen. The Labor Department sent a hold request. I had $62 left and couldn't touch it. I went to the bank hoping it was a glitch. The woman behind the counter said, "There's a pending investigation tied to your account. We can't release anything." My legs felt weak. I left before I embarrassed myself. I sat outside on the curb eating ramen dry from the packet because I didn't have anywhere else to go. A beat-up car pulled up next to me. I didn't look up until I heard a voice I recognized from messages. "So you really out here?" My stomach dropped. It was the obsessed dude from my old OnlyFans. Seeing him in person made every hair on my neck stand up. He looked nothing like his pictures. Older. Angrier. Eyes too wide. I stood up quick and backed away. "I gotta go," I said. He followed. "You think you can take my money and disappear? You think you can play games?" I started walking faster. He kept going. "Show me the real you. Not the online one." My heart was pounding so loud I couldn't hear cars passing. I called out to a woman across the street, "Can you call someone?" The man stopped, looked around, then got in his car and sped off. The woman asked if I was okay. I nodded even though I wasn't. I was shaking so hard I dropped the ramen. Why did I ever think this life was empowering? I walked another mile until I reached my friend's house. The same one who kicked me out. I didn't know what else to do. I knocked. She opened the door with her arms crossed. "You can't stay here," she said. "Please, just one night," I whispered. She looked at me long enough to see the fear on my face. She let me in but kept her distance. I slept on the floor in her kid's old room. No blankets. Just carpet. 3 days passed like that. Quiet. Tense. I did dishes. Cleaned. Tried to act useful. She didn't trust me, but she didn't throw me out yet. Then everything blew up. Her husband came home early. She grabbed his phone while he was in the shower. She said something didn't feel right. Next thing I heard was her screaming. She ran into the room where I was sitting and threw his phone at me. "So he was paying you too?" she yelled. My chest went cold. She scrolled through the messages. Payments sent to my old account. Tips. Comments. Pictures I thought were deleted. All linked to his username. "I didn't know," I said. "I swear I didn't know." She shook her head. "I don't care. You're ruining families like it's a hobby." Her husband came in yelling that it wasn't what it looked like. She told him to get out. Then she told me, "You too. Out. Now." I grabbed my bag. She threw my shoes at me and slammed the door. I sat outside on the concrete wondering where the hell I could go next. Everything I touched was falling apart. Every person I stayed with ended up hurt. And the investigation was getting closer. That night, my phone buzzed. Another email. This one wasn't a warning. It was an indictment notice. Charges were officially filed. They named me and the cousin. Fraud. Misrepresentation. Intent to deceive for financial gain. My legs went numb. I curled up against the side of a gas station wall and cried until my throat hurt. No sound. Just shaking. I'm running out of places to exist. And something tells me the darkest part hasn't hit yet. I've been avoiding mirrors. Every time I see myself, I don't see me. I see the woman who broke a good man, lied for months, dragged her own name through the dirt, and thought she was too slick to get caught. But the law don't care how pretty you think you are. And life don't pause just because you scared. After I got the indictment notice, I stopped sleeping. Kept the motel lights on even though it made the room hotter than hell. Sat by the window all night watching shadows move across the lot. Every car that slowed down made me flinch. I kept thinking, is this it? They gon' come get me now. 3 days later, the news broke. Not national, just local. But that was enough. Someone posted the article on Facebook. My name, the cousin's name, the charges. 2 indicted in Atlanta job fraud and online income scam. My picture from LinkedIn. Him too. They dragged us. The comments section was full of people I knew. High school classmates. My old coworker. A girl I used to babysit. They said everything. Knew she was always fake. Wasn't she married to that quiet dude? Damn. That's what happens when you chase fast money. I wanted to respond. Say it ain't what it looks like. But it is. Why did I think I could run game forever? Why did I think I was untouchable? Why didn't I stop when I had the chance? By the time I checked my email again, OnlyFans had permanently banned me. Not just the old account. All accounts tied to my IP, my bank, my name. Stripe sent me a termination notice too. Said I'd violated their terms with fraudulent earnings and unverifiable identity info. My payout was seized. That was almost $12,000. Gone. I called a public defender. Told them I couldn't afford nobody else. They said someone would reach out. Still waiting. I ain't got no ride. No job. My phone only work on Wi-Fi. I've been washing my clothes in the sink with motel soap. My stomach hurt most nights. I eat ramen dry with tap water in a plastic cup. Sometimes I just sleep through meals so I don't feel the hunger. Last night, I saw that man again. The obsessed one. He was standing across the street from the motel. Didn't say nothing. Just watched. I closed the curtain and sat with my back against the wall holding my bag like it could protect me. I ain't told nobody because I don't got nobody to tell. Cops wouldn't care. They'd just say I brought it on myself. This morning I got a text from my mom. Not to check on me. Just a forward from a church group she in. A prayer for lost daughters who forget their worth. That was all it said. My cousin finally texted. One line. They gon' try to separate our charges. Don't talk. He still think I'm loyal. He the reason I'm in this. The fake job. The documents. The setup. But I'm the one who smiled in pictures while married, knowing I had 2 lives. I let it happen. And I keep thinking about my husband. Where he is. If he watching this unfold. If he feels relief or just disgust. He ain't said a word since he left. Not one text. Not one call. That silence louder than anything. I did all this. And now it's closing in. Court date's been set. I ain't ready. And something worse still waiting. I can feel it. I ain't even cry when they took me in. I was too tired. Felt like I'd already served time just waiting on that knock. When the sheriff called my name in the motel lobby, I didn't run. I ain't scream. I just stood up, grabbed my bag and nodded. They put me in holding first. Metal bench. One toilet in the corner with no stall. No shoestrings, no hoodie drawstrings, nothing sharp. The officer who booked me said, "You look like you knew this was coming." I did. 3 days later, they transferred me to county. First thing I learned: jail don't care what you used to be. Pretty, that don't matter. Cute name online, gone. You just another body in orange. Bunked with whoever they assign you. My first cellmate was a woman who stole from her grandma. She looked at me and said, "You the OnlyFans girl, word travels. You ever sit with your back to the wall all night 'cause you scared to sleep? Ever chew ramen without the seasoning packet just to make it last 2 meals? You ever pray for morning just so you don't feel like time stopped?" I ask myself 3 things every night. How did I end up trading real love for fake fame? Was the money really worth it? What happens to people like me when the internet forgets? Then the next consequence came fast. Some bish tried to unalive me in my cell today. No warning. No build-up. I was brushing my teeth with that little finger brush they give us, and next thing I know, this girl from 2 bunks down came at me screaming, "You took my man's money. You fake-ass scammer." She had a sock with a bar of soap in it. Swung it like a damn weapon. Caught me across the cheek. I stumbled, tried to grab the wall, slipped. She came again, but 2 other girls held her back yelling, "Not in front the camera, dummy." COs came in, broke it up. I got moved. My face swollen, lips busted. No hospital, just ice in a bag. They ain't even ask what happened. Just said, "Keep to yourself." I laid on that cot all night shaking. Didn't sleep. Every sound felt like another hit coming. The next morning, my lawyer showed up. Public defender. Young, tired-looking dude who barely made eye contact. Told me the cousin flipped. Said he's cooperating, saying I masterminded it. Said I used him to make the fake job work. My jaw dropped. "Can he really do that?" I asked. He shrugged. He already has. My plea deal disappeared the same day. They said I could be facing serious time now. Not probation. Not a slap. Time. I called my mom. Begged her to help with a better lawyer. She said, "We told you we wouldn't bail you out again." My voice cracked. She stayed quiet. Then she said, "We still love you. But we can't save you from this." Click. I called my sister. No answer. My brother. Blocked. I sat in that phone booth and just stared at the wall. Didn't cry. Ain't nothing left in me to leak out. Then, a week later, one of the guards walked by and said, "Yo husband filed for divorce. You served now." My chest just caved in. No warning. No paper. Just gone. Done. The girl who gave me the ramen packet last week looked over and said, "You good?" I said, "No." She nodded like she already knew. I don't sleep anymore. I don't even write letters. Ain't nobody out there waiting to read them. All my accounts closed. All my money seized. My name ruined. And now, I just exist. One bunk. One broken body. One mistake that never stopped multiplying. This ain't no redemption arc. This the fallout. And it ain't done yet. They let me out 6 months later. Not because I proved anything. Not because I got off. Just budget cuts and overcrowding. My lawyer said I was lucky. I didn't feel lucky walking out the front gate with a trash bag full of used clothes and nowhere to go. I thought I'd feel free. I didn't. I felt exposed. Like the sun had no business touching me. I stayed at a transitional house for a week. One of those places with bunk beds and a 9 p.m. curfew. It was better than jail, but not by much. People came and went like ghosts. I kept my bag under my pillow and didn't talk much. I didn't tell nobody why I was in. They already knew. First thing I did was try to get a new ID. My old one was flagged. The woman at the counter scanned it and asked me to step aside. I waited an hour before a supervisor came out and said my name was still under federal review. I left empty-handed. I tried to apply to a grocery store next. Stocking shelves, night shift. I was honest on the application. Checked the box for felony conviction. They called 2 days later and said they filled the position. I ain't even get mad. How you mad at the world when it just reacting to what you did? I had $40 left on a prepaid card. I bought a box of ramen, a toothbrush and a pack of cheap socks. Ate the noodles raw again, same as before. Then I saw the news. Cousin got caught in another lie. Turns out he was still running a fake consulting service on the side, even while I was locked up. Somebody from another state filed a complaint. Feds pulled the threads. Found bank accounts. Offshore money. False identities. He had receipts on all of it. They called him the architect. Organized wage fraud scheme involving multiple false entities and online revenue laundering. My name wasn't on the new stuff. Just his. But nobody cared. My name's still dirty. I thought maybe this would clear things up. Show people I wasn't the one who started it. But when the article mentioned me, it said, co-conspirator previously charged in related case, served partial sentence. That's it. No apology. No update. Just another footnote in somebody else's mess. I called my mama. Left a message. Told her the truth came out. She texted back, I'm glad it's over. But you still made your choices. I didn't reply. I asked around about the cousin. He's facing years. Nobody want to talk to him now. His family acting like he ain't exist. But he's still got people visiting. Still got a lawyer. Me, I'm walking in Atlanta heat with a ripped bag and blisters on both feet. I stopped by my old friend's house. The one who kicked me out. Just to say sorry. She opened the door, saw me, and said, nah. Then shut it before I got a word out. You ever feel like the whole city knows you and still acts like you invisible? I slept at a park one night. Cops woke me up, told me to move. Next night I walked until I found a shelter. It was full. Third night, I finally got a bed. Cement floor. Cold blanket. But it was somewhere to be. Now I'm at that shelter full time. I clean the bathrooms just to earn my spot. Eat what they give us. Peanut butter sandwiches, canned fruit, sometimes soup. I found an old flip phone someone left behind. Got it working with Wi-Fi. I check the news sometimes. Scroll through old pics when I can stand it. There's one of me and my ex-husband, from back when things were good. Before the cousin. Before the lies. Before I traded loyalty for compliments. He looked at me like I was the only one. And I treated him like an option. I wonder if he's happy now. I wonder if he's free. I hope he is. Me, I'm just here. Atlanta. Homeless shelter. One plastic bag of clothes. One toothbrush. One name that nobody forgets. This the part of the story nobody glamorizes? Ain't no comeback. Ain't no glow up. Just the ending you earn. And mine look like this.